Hello, and welcome to the Let's Read portion of the show, where we take a moment to appreciate the literature of Skyrim. Today, we will be reading Liminal Bridges. Liminal Bridges, a discourse on the theory and praxis of traveling between Mundas and Oblivion, by Camelonwe of Alinor. Transliminal passage of quickened objects or entities without the persistent agency of hyperagonal media is not possible, and even if possible would result in instantaneous retromission of the transported reference. Only a transportine circumpenetration of the limen will result in transits of greater than infinitesimal duration. Though other hyperagonal media may exist in theory, the only known transliminal artifact capable of sustained transpontine circumpenetration is the sigil stone. A sigil stone is a specimen of pre-mythic quasi-crystalline morpholith that is being transformed into an extra-dimensional artifact through the arcane inscription of a Daedric sigil. Though some common morpholiths, like soul gems, may be found in nature, the exotic morpholiths used to make sigil stones occur only in pocket voids of oblivion, and cannot be prospected or harvested without Daedric assistance. Therefore, since both the morpholiths and the Daedric sigils required for the hyperagonal media cannot be obtained without traffic and commerce with Daedric lords, it is necessary that a transliminal mechanic cultivate a working knowledge of conjuration, though purpose-built enchantments may be substituted if the mechanic has sufficient invocation skill. Traffic and commerce with Daedric lords is an esoteric but well-established practice, and lies outside the compass of this treatise. Footnote 1. Presuming a sigil stone has been acquired, the transliminal mechanic must first prepare the morpholith to receive the Daedric sigil. Let the mechanic prepare a chamber, sealed against all daylight and disturbances of the outer air, roofed and walled with white stone, and floored with black tiles. All surfaces of this chamber must be ritually purified with a solution of boiled salt in either solvent. A foursquare table shall be placed in the center of the room, with a dish to receive the morpholith. 4 censers shall be prepared with the incense compounded from Gorvix and Harada. On the equinox the mechanic shall then place the morpholith in the dish and intone the rites of the Book of Law, beginning at dawn and continuing without cease until the sun set of the same day. 1. The mechanic may then present the purified morpholith to the Daedra Lord for his inscription. Once inscribed with the Daedra Lord's sigil, the morpholith becomes a true sigil stone, a powerful artifact that collects and stores arcane power. Similar in many respects to a charged soul gem, but of a much greater magnitude. And it is this sigil stone that is required to provide the tremendous arcane power necessary to sustain the enchantment that supports the transpontine circumpenetration of the liminal. To open a gate to oblivion, the mechanic must communicate directly, by the spell or enchantment, with the Daedric Lord who inscribed the sigil stone in question. The Daedric Lord and the mechanic jointly invoke the Conjuration Charter. Footnote 2. And the mechanic activates the charged sigil stone, which is immediately transported through the liminal barrier to the spot where its sigil was inscribed, thus opening a temporary portal between Mundus and Oblivion. This portal may only remain open for a brief period of time. Depending on the strength of the liminal barrier at the chosen spot, several minutes being the longest ever reported, so the usefulness of such a gate is quite limited. Interested students are invited to consult the works of Albrecht, Theophanes, Bombadus, and Galorian the Mystic for the fundaments of this discipline. Footnote 2. Recommended examples of the Conjurational Charter may be found in Theron's Book of Most Arcane Covenants or Rilaubiel's 11 Ritual Forms. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Shadow's Let's Read the Books of Skyrim.